The problems you encounter when trying to frame a research question revolve around a number of interrelated misconceptions. So far, we've talked about each of these in general terms. Now it's time to consider each a bit more specifically. Let's start with the common belief that good research ideas are best understood as flashes of brilliance. Every research project, great, small, begins at the same place, with an idea. We're not strangers to the concept. Human beings are idea people. But even though we produce many ideas every day, when we want to create an idea for a research project, we get stuck. Why is that?
Well, for me, whenever I sit down to figure out a topic, my mind just goes blank, and I can't think of anything. And when I finally do think of something, it just seems dumb and not the kind of thing my professor would want. It's not good enough.
Yeah, I have the same problem. The inspiration just isn't there when I need it.
Richard Feynman, he won a Nobel Prize in 1965 in physics, once described the process of finding a research topic as repeatedly bumping your head up against a wall. Does that describe your feeling?
Yeah, it does, but it's worse. You feel like you're stumbling around in the dark because your brain can't figure out how to turn on the light.
Right, like the picture you always see of the guy with the light bulb above his head. The light won't turn on for me.
So you're waiting for a flash of insight that just won't come, no matter how badly you want it?
At times like that, I would settle for a small flash of anything at all. I think important insight is beyond my ability.
Okay, we'll come back to ability a little bit later. Right now, let's focus on the habit of waiting for a flash of some sort. Experienced researchers agree with Richard Feynman. Many times, an idea doesn't flash on you. You stumble upon it after banging your head on a wall. Stephen Johnson, who writes on the progress of science and innovation, said in his experience, research ideas fade into view over long periods of time. He refers to these long incubation periods as slow hunches. A slow hunch is really very far removed from a sudden flash of insight. Listen to what these people who've given a lot of thought to the process of generating research ideas. They fade, they don't flash. They are the products of slow slogs, not blink-like insights. What does that mean to you?
Okay, so maybe waiting around for inspiration doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's not like we're looking for excuses to avoid hard work.
Right, and what are we supposed to think whenever our entire understanding of great ideas come from stories that focus on eureka moments and flashes of brilliance and insights that blink into existence?
Maybe you'll find it helpful to think of such notions as flawed hindsight. Human beings always romanticize and embellish the great moments in history, but those who lived through these moments didn't consider them profound. Given what we've discussed so far, how would you better describe the process of idea generation?
Well, first off, it's not a moment at all. A moment is best described as this period of incubation. You said something about a slow hunch.
Yes, good.
Also, it seems like the process is somehow repetitive. You know, you have a piece of an idea, and then as you think more about it, other pieces, related ideas occur to you, and then those combined ideas lead to still other pieces. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. The term we often use to describe this piecemeal building process is iterative.
From that, it also seems logical to assume that some of the idea pieces you come up with may not fit together. So maybe the process is like taking 2 steps forward, then occasionally 1 step back.
Excellent insight. In fact, Richard Feynman described it as a process of mentally toying around with a variety of different combinations of ideas. If you track your progress, you will find that you go forward in fits and starts. Significant forward movement follows a round of trials and errors. Now, let's step back and see how our new perspective on idea creation differs from a conventional wisdom that emphasizes sudden flashes.